All right, well, we are in a unique location today on this episode of Low Tech Garage. What you might notice is, well, first of all, this kind of neat tent we're in, and this hood. Some of you that have been longtime subscribers might recognize this from the 65 Mustang. I was really planning on giving you guys an update on the Mustang today, or one of the Jags, because I know how much you guys enjoy the Jag content, and so we're really planning on getting a video out for everyone on one of these cars and kind of saying, hey, they're still out here, we haven't forgotten about them, and we are working on them. So my usually reliable 7.3 Power Stroke is suffering from a stuck brake caliper. So most of you guys know I've had this thing for about a year now. It's a higher mileage but well looked after 7.3. But something I had noticed was, the brakes had a good amount of wear on them. So some of you guys may have seen the front end service I did, and with that, I did put new rotors and pads in, and I did notice that one caliper looked like it may be sticking a little bit and the other one had some damage. So I had ordered parts a while ago. And then kind of out of the blue, actually, one of the rear calipers started sticking and giving me problems today. So we are going to be replacing the calipers on the 7.3 with new pads as well, new rotors. The fronts are new, so we already did that. But I got all new hoses. Oh, and of course, forget to mention, but if you are not subscribed to the channel, we highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button. And if you wouldn't mind hitting the little thumbs up down there to like the video while you're at it, it helps us out hugely. We're really trying to grow this channel. It's kind of hard to believe that we have over 1,400 subscribers already now, and just because of sharing what we're up to and our love of cars. So we hope that you enjoy what we're doing, and if you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe later. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind doing that, we'd really appreciate it. And behind me you can see the little tent for the Mustang. Probably end up doing a review on this myself too, because it's just a Harbor Freight special, but wanted something weatherproof to protect the Mustang while we're getting it fired up for the summer, because we're pretty close. But as I'm sure you guys know, I seem to always get caught out in the rain when I'm working on these, and actually today's no difference. We got a storm coming in, but yeah, this is where I was just lurking. So already got the truck up on stands, and I've pulled the wheels off. Figure most of you guys know how to do that. And let's get it in the shop for you. So what you can see here is caliper, and I've cracked the brake line, and it's actually making a huge mess. So I'm going to get a rag to soak that up. I promise there'll be content on this car soon. And I know I keep teasing it, but the beautiful 928 lurking over there too. That's a good story behind it, so I'm going to make that a priority here in the next few weeks as well. All right, so much better. So pretty straightforward on these. I've been soaking the tube nut with PB Blaster. This truck doesn't really have rust on it, but I don't think these have been undone in probably 20 years. And I was concerned about stripping off the nut, so soaked those in PB Blaster, and then they came right undone. So brake line's disconnected, and next step for me, because I'm doing the whole new caliper, is basically right here. Let's see if we can get zoomed in here a little bit. Undo this bolt, and then there's one down here at the bottom. It's gonna be a little tricky to see, but you might see it. I have to undo that, and then basically the whole assembly here is coming off. And I have new pads in here already. They're almost brand new. The rotors are new. So really I'm going to be putting oh man, look how dark. There we go. Basically I'm going to be putting new caliper and a new brake line on, so that basically the whole brake system up here is new. And then I'm going to be repeating the same on the rear end once we get the front done. So let me yank this caliper off, and then I'll give you guys an update. So as I mentioned, a storm's coming in here, so apologize for the wind, but I've got the calipers off. Figured I'd kind of show you some of the stuff going on with them here. So here they are. You can see they've served their purpose. But one of the big issues, and I know you can rebuild these, but like the slides do not move at all. They just are rock solid. And so I have a feeling that was causing some of the dragging. But also down in here, it's a little tricky to see, but these seals are actually perished. And so, you know, it's a matter of time before those are leaking. And honestly, with these trucks, the fresh set of calipers is so cheap it's not worth rebuilding. So you can kind of see this caliper actually, I don't know if you saw it, but the slide does work on this one. But nonetheless, they're getting replaced. So I'll get the new calipers out here and we can take a look at them. Okay, we're back. So calipers are unboxed. These are the centric parts kit. They seem to do a pretty decent job on rebuilt calipers at an affordable price. So this one is the passenger side. You know, it comes painted, all new fittings, hardware, seals. You can kind of see in here the cylinders are all good with seals and everything. And then it also comes with the hardware, which is nice because some of the stuff on mine were damaged or tired. So I have the other one over here. Obviously I got the near new brake pads, same here, and then I have new hoses here as well. What I'll do, I'll post the calipers I'm using, but the brake hoses are specific to like the configuration of the truck you have. So if you have auto locking hubs or manual hubs, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, there's a lot of variations. So don't mind leaving a link to kind of where I bought the hoses from, but I'll leave that up to your discretion on getting the right ones for your vehicle. The calipers though, they are a little more generic. I think the only difference is if you have like an early 99 Super Duty, then there is a different caliper for you. So yeah, the link will be in the description below for what I'm using just for the calipers, and I'll let you guys figure out your own brake lines just so you get the right stuff. So with that, I'm going to basically assemble these new calipers, put the pads in, all the little clips and everything, and then we'll get them put back on the front end, and then last step will be get the hoses to connect them back up to the hard lines. So I'll get on with that and we'll check back in a few minutes. So in typical fashion, I got rained out yesterday, but I was able to get the calipers assembled and just loosely put back on the truck. So I'll kind of give you guys an update real quick. But if you kind of see here, you can see the new calipers mounted up. So I just have to basically get the new front lines in. I got those right here. So I'm going to get those kind of all in, and then I'll crank everything down for now. And then we have to raise the rear up and basically do the same on the back of the truck. So far it's been pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. So if I find anything that's like specific to the truck that's useful, I'll definitely share that with you. And then yeah, back here I have basically the full kit for the truck. So let's see, we got, you know, the new calipers. It's 3 new brake hoses for the rear because we have the one that goes to the center axle, new pads, and then we got the new rotors here too. So it's going to keep me busy here for a little bit, but you know, got to get it done, and sticking calipers are no fun to deal with either. So check back here in a little bit, give you guys an update. Okay, so front brakes are done. Pretty straightforward. Let me show you guys, got the lines on, so you know. Oh, sorry, here we go. Calipers I showed you guys. The lines were nice. They came with the here we go, vacuum hose for the auto locker, so that's nice. They fit way better than the hose I'd used. New line. So now everything actually looks super clean under here. There's no more fluid leak from the power steering. So kind of excited to see how these do. However, I think I found my problem. Like I said, I had a little bit of a sticking caliper on the front, but I think you guys will like this. Let's see if we can get the camera in here. Let's see if you can see this. is kind of hard. Maybe we can go this way. Let's try over here. That, hang on. Not the best. You can kind of see it. Anyway, oh, there we go. That's my brake pad. So somehow it's managed to come out of the caliper. So I would say that is definitely a problem. I knew these needed some attention, but holy smokes. So I'm going to start tearing this apart, and let's see what the damage is. Fun with old cars and trucks. So, got the caliper off, got the pads out and the rotor. Thought I'd show you guys the problem child. So check this out. Here we go. So, firstly, look at that damage. Crazy. This pad, though, I'd say we got our money's worth. Yeah, it looks like the rears hadn't been changed in a long time, so I had got the fronts done with the front end service, and I had the stuff for this, but didn't realize they were as bad as this, so this one left the chat. Caliper condition, kind of see the seals are kind of weird. This one's kind of like popped off in here when you compare it to this one where it's stuck on. So, you know, like everything else, I have replacements. So all new everything, hoses, rotors, pads, caliper. You can do that on both sides. So I'm going to unbox these new things. I think I showed you guys. In case I didn't, here they are. So new rear calipers looking nice. Hoses, pads, rotors are in here. So should be a nice little package there, and hopefully I don't run into this for a while, and hopefully improves the braking, and maybe if I'm lucky, maybe my miles per gallon get a slightly bit better too. So I'll update you guys in a few minutes once I've got a little bit more done here, and let you know how things are going. All right, so update time. We have wrangled the disaster, so let's check this out. So, new rotor, just slips right on. Put my wheel spacer back on. Pro tip, use Loctite on these just to make sure they don't come loose. It's when these come loose, that's how you can snap your studs. So I have a little bit of Loctite on these cranked down, so that should be no issue with the wheels. Got my rebuilt caliper on with pads. You can kind of see in there, new brake hose. And then this all comes around here, all new. The install is super easy. I will point out, because this is going to end up being another video on the truck, I think I've touched on the mileage on this thing a few times now, but we're at like 365,000 on it. I noticed I have like a 2-inch leveling, or not a leveling, but lift block in the rear. But my truck basically sits level. So that makes me believe that these rear leafs are very tired. You can kind of see it, honestly, if I flip this back around. If you follow them, they have like a very flat spot in the center, almost inverted. So I have a suspicion we'll be throwing some new leafs on the rear here soon. And, you know, it definitely needs some new shocks too. So foresee this is going to end up being a full suspension overhaul on this truck. But, you know, I love the thing. It's super reliable, and you know, I'm just squaring away all the maintenance that was neglected from the previous owner. So yeah, I'm gonna get on, try and do a little more on the other side, which is the same process as this, but we're starting to lose the light. So I will do an update, might be in the morning, and hopefully we'll just be left with the master cylinder and getting this thing bled. So I'll be back soon. So, truck update. We have the new calipers on the back, so here we go. So you can see they went on pretty nicely. Got the new pads in here nicely lubed. New hose that comes around here. I went ahead, I was so far into this that I also replaced the center hose here too. You know, it was the last flex line in the system. So yeah, we've got them all in now, and next step is just going to be kind of bleed these out, and hopefully we're back in business. But I definitely had, obviously, the one failed brake pad, but then I think at least 2 sticking calipers as well. So, you know, maybe out of this I get a little better drivability and braking, and maybe even treat it to slightly better fuel mileage as well. So yeah, I'll report back once it's done, and we'll get this bleeding done here. So just got back from a test drive. Just got the brakes bled. Josh came by and gave me a hand with that, and it was kind of nice actually. We flushed out all the old brake fluid that was in the system too, so it was definitely past due. It was kind of black looking. So now we have fresh brake fluid in the system, and yeah, just got back from a test drive, and all I can say is wow. I always thought the brakes were a little odd on this. They just didn't really have the bite that I expected. I mean, I know it's a big truck, so I'm not looking for anything performance oriented, but really goes to show if the rear pads are out like that, it must just mess up the brake bias. I think that's what was going on. And yeah, all I can say is now it stops like a regular vehicle, which is awesome. So really pleased with the outcome, and glad I had an opportunity to finally do this. And I'd say, you know, if you're thinking about doing this, it's not that daunting. Everything's pretty straightforward. And yeah, at least for me, everything came apart pretty easy as well. So, you know, I'll post some of the parts in the description below that, you know, cross over all the Super Duties. Like I said, some of the hoses and stuff, I won't put that in there just because they're very specific to what specification truck you've got. But hope you found this helpful, and thank you for following along. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we would really appreciate it if you did. You know, we're really trying to build this thing. We really enjoy the amount of kind of engagement that we've been getting for everyone. And, you know, we have big plans for this year. We're really trying to put out more content and get stuck into some of our other projects that have just been idle because of everything that we've been dealing with here. So if you follow along, you'll not miss out on any of that. So thanks again, and we'll be posting another one just next week. See you soon.